talk to you a little bit about a test that we've discussed, and they might have said that it would be useful in your case, which is what we call EDX studies, or electrodiagnostic studies. Electrodiagnostic studies have been around for a long time, probably at least since the 1920s regularly, and they've been taught to neurologists and physiatrists, which is my specialty, for generations. They're very useful in determining nerve issues or nerve-related issues like carpal tunnel or a pinched nerve in your arm or your neck, or a generalized neuropathy, where all the nerves in the peripheral nerves in the hands and the feet have numbness and tingling from either diabetes or chemotherapy or the like. This test has two parts to it. The first part is what's called the NCS, or nerve conduction studies. And it's basically where you come and you get comfortable, and an electrode is put over where the peripheral nerves are in your arm or your leg. At one end of the electrode is what picks up the signal. The other end, a small electrical pulse is applied. And what that pulse does is it runs down the length of your nerve, and it treats your nerves the way an electrician treats a wire. It runs a charge through it. Nerves are essentially wires. They have insulation on them, and they carry a charge very well. The pulse is very low key and very low current. I always tell people you're not getting shocked or tasered. Highest it can go is 1/10 of an amp, or 100 milliamps. Once that charge goes through the nerve, it goes through an amplifier, which goes to the computer, and it shows up as a blip. You're like an EKG machine. That blip is the action potential, or the action of the nerve. And based on what the computer tells us in terms of the speed and the strength of the nerve, we can let you know, is that normal or abnormal? So once we check a couple nerves, the next step will be to take what looks for all the world like a little wire. It's very bendable and flexible, and that wire is a recording electrode. The tip of that picks up sound the way almost like an antenna would or a microphone if you threw it over the edge of a boat. What you're doing with that wire is you're finding a particular muscle or muscles, and you're doing a slight little penetration right under the skin. Muscles have electrical activity, as you probably know. Muscles are powered by the nerves. So when I tell my hand to move and my fingers to move, it's my brain telling my nerves to do that, and then a little chemical electrical signal tells my muscle to contract. Well, you don't want to poke a nerve. You're just going to get a very upset person if you do that. But you can poke a muscle and just listen to the electrical activity. If you know what nerves power that muscle, you can listen in for normal or abnormal sounds and visuals on the screen. And what it can tell you is, have the nerves to that muscle taken a hit, yes or no? So if you look at a series of muscles and a series of nerves, kind of like a detective, you can look at the whole picture and say, is there a pattern to this, yes or no? And you can probably tell someone, sure, you have a pinched nerve in your back and it looks like it's this particular nerve root or nerve roots, or yes, you have carpal tunnel, and yes, it looks like it's in the moderate range, or yes, you have a generalized neuropathy or nerve issue and it looks mild or moderate or severe. And based on that, you glean a lot of good information as to how to treat somebody.